Hello and welcome. So, I am Sigrún with the Universal Pagan Temple, and we've got a lot to talk about this evening. Yes, I'm seeing people in the chat already. Someone's on the naughty list. Yes, that would be Trump. And it would be other Republicans, Democrats, and of course, Bill Gates, who I would like to add that my husband did a reading on him years ago when he was divorcing his wife, and the first card that he pulled in relation to Bill Gates was the devil. Um, and in these drops, I mean, people are just finding more and more in these, and I'm just relying upon the good people on X, these accounts, to share everything that they're seeing. But these are going to have far-reaching repercussions for both parties, and especially with Trump, in that he was named in the files multiple times, and these are all apparently just allegations. I kind of want to mention that to save my katush if I can. But with that, he, I guess, he had somebody remove them just after they were released. The parts of the files that mention him by name, but it's kind of too late. He's in there. And it is just absolutely disgusting what's in there. I mean, I'm going to bring up some things that are in the files in relation to the rune readings that I'm going to do. I'm not going to say everything because some of the things are just so freaking disgusting and evil, especially, I guess it was Bush or not Junior, it was Bush Senior, what he did on a boat with Epstein, with a child. Absolutely disgusting. So hello everybody. Yes, hello. Okay, and let's get into some of these posts here. So this came around noon. And this surprised nobody, but this was the first thing I saw, and I just, I had to chuckle to myself. In that the FBI report citing a confidential human source released in the final batch of the Epstein files claims Trump has been compromised by Israel, and apparently it's by Kushner that he's been compromised. And some of these things are redacted in here, of course, and I wonder if I can. Let's see here. Trump has been compromised by Israel, and Kushner is the real brains behind his organization and his presidency. And I guess that was referring to his first term, and I'm sure his second term as well. And another post here. Let's see here. Trump's head of secretary threatened a survivor who was raped at orgies by saying she would end up as fertilizer for the back nine holes like the other C words if she ever discussed what she saw or what happened to her. And you see a lot of this in the files and what's being posted. And then you see a lot of this where I'm thinking that this is just cope, because it's not apparently these are all allegations, but these have been going on for some time. And yeah, this just seems like cope right here. And another one, apparently in the Epstein files, Mom Donnie's mother attended a party at Ghislaine Maxwell's house with Big Clinton and big. Bill Clinton and Jeff Bezos. Film director Mira Nar, mother of Democratic Socialist New York City Mayor Zohran Mamdani, showed up in the newly released documents. A 2009 email from publicist Peggy Singal to Epstein described a after-party at Maxwell's townhouse for Nar's film Amela. The guest list: Bill Clinton, Jeff Bezos, and others. So, yes, there are Republicans and there are Democrats, and we have to remember that Trump was also at one time a Democrat. Until, I guess, the theater decided that he should be a Republican. And then this post right here is a pretty good review of what's in the files. Heavy illegal redactions protecting perpetrators, doxing of Epstein's victims again. Okay, incriminating docs of Trump's posted, unposted, reposted. Okay. Epstein discusses Trump raping underage girl at his house. Elon visited Epstein's island, and I've heard that people said Elon was like invited or he asked to go, but Epstein canceled. So like what, he's the least implicated in all of this. Bill Gates got an STD from Russian girls, and he was trying to sneak antibiotics into his wife's drink or food or whatever. Allegations of sex trafficking and auctioning underage kids at Mar-a-Lago. Melania's close relationship with Ghislaine exposed, and that's kind of funny because Melania's got a movie on that nobody's going to see. Seriously, they're reporting that the theaters are just, nobody's even buying a ticket. Trump's pick of Fed chair in Epstein files, and yeah, the FBI intake allegations below, but it is just, we're just going to see more and more of this as the days go by. I mean, this is just the start of this bullshit. If you ever need advice on getting a channel canceled, I'm your man. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, yes, exactly. How Abrahamic of them. Yes. Okay, so I wanted to do a couple of readings on how Trump is going to come out of this. Is he actually going to, face any legality from this? Because I know the other side would love to get him, but, it's kind of like, you think about it, they had these documents before and they could have gotten him. There's Democrats in here, but, it's all a big cabal, really, of everybody's on the same team. But just for entertainment's sake, will Trump face any repercussions? And I'm going to be using a different spread this evening with the third 8 more or less concerning law. Okay, in our middle we have Ingus, so I'm wondering how this is going to develop, how it's going to grow. Ingus has to do with growth. Okay, in Tiwas, third et, we have Nothies. So there is a need for justice in this situation. See how this progresses. The heck? Somebody's like screaming outside our house. I don't know why. For Burkana, we have Wunyo. So finding the femininity, joy. We'll see how that progresses in the reading to make it make sense. And we're going to have a look in Ewas, the horse rune. Oh, Othala. Now, Othala and Ewas, because Ewas is about communication and it's also about partnerships. And Othala being, the home, ancestry. anybody related to Trump is going to have the world absolutely rocked right now. And we're going to see if it's probably going to be a bad way, but it's going to be, you know, multiple generations that are going to be hit by this. And manas, people at large. We have Rido. So yes, the people at large. Let's see here. Lagus, our emotions. People are very upset about all of this. Let's see. Oh, Kenas. Interesting. Now, we've already had Ingus in our reading, but we're going to take a look at where Ingus, you know, what runes are influencing it right now. Oh, Yera. So as things are going to take time to progress, to grow, because Ingus, if you kind of play with this rune in your mind, these two, they kind of, it's like Ingus is the sequel, almost, of Yera, because if you just put Yera together, you're going to have Ingus, which is a seed. And Yera, you know, what takes the time to grow. And then, you know, at the beginning, there was Kenas. So it's a bit of a rune lore. So Ingus onto Othala. Okay, Othala, in that position, we have Mana, so people at large. Now I'm going to see what it says in Dagas to have a complete view of this reading. We have Berkana. Okay. So, hi Vidar, hello. Okay, I don't see how justice could be executed in a society that finds no value in the most vulnerable. Exactly, yeah. Nathis and Tiwas, yeah, there's a need for justice, especially for the women and children involved in this. You know, Nathis being the rune of need, what is needed. And for Nathis to be here, but then there's just, yeah, there's no other negative runes to show. For this, there's Berkana here to be influencing Dagas. Things are going to change in terms of the women in the situation, Melania, because you remember Ghislaine, she got in trouble. She's in jail, although she's being treated very vengeance. Yes, Ghislaine is being treated very nicely in jail. Perhaps that's going to change for her. And perhaps, you know, with Wunyo being in Berkana, more women are going to come forward and you know, testify that, yes, this happened. But, yeah, you got to remember, Trump is, you know, he's in the club. He's being, you know, puppeteered by Israel. We've known this, and now the files literally prove it. But yeah, things are going to remain kind of in limbo. But yeah, the family is definitely going to be impacted, the Trump family, and any other families involved. But it's almost like the women are going to take the brunt of it, which is absolutely horrible. Women hold the voting and ethical power in America. They will have to demand justice. Exactly. That's good. Yeah, I agree with you there. And it can't just be, you know, the white liberal women that demand justice, because their views of justice are skewed, where they go after their own men and then they leave, you know, illegal aliens alone. They think they're just fine. And let's review on our first reading to see what will be the outcome for America at this point, if there's anything, you know, if it's going to be obvious or there's anything that we are missing. Will this change our political landscape? That is a better question. Okay, Hargalas in the middle. So this has to do with karmic Hamanya, at what has happened in the past that is unavoidable at this point. Okay, and then in Fehu, you know, money, finance, because you have to remember the Zionists are very much involved with this entire situation. Righto, okay. So we've had kind of a negative start to the reading with Hargalas, and I'm kind of wondering if this Righto is being negatively aspected, because I don't read reversals when it comes to runes. I read the energies of the runes as they are related to themselves, because traditionally you're not supposed to read reversals when it comes to runes. So yeah, perhaps yeah, money's going to be sent out to these people. Yeah, heads must roll. Yes, exactly. In Urus. We have Urus and Urus. So perhaps this is a strengthening of the American people in their resolve, in their values, because across the board, Americans are pissed off, and only very few diehard Trump fans are saying that this is all fake. I've seen some of them. They're coping really hard, and they're just in denial. Yeah. By the way, new beer, Elysian Bifrost. Not bad. Okay. Thurisaz. Oh, Thurisaz is influencing Wunyo. So, yeah, destruction of happiness. Yeah, we're not happy right now. We'll see in the rest of the reading if we get any resolve on this. But yes, obviously, we're not happy right now. And remember, if you could hit that like button, it really helps out with the algorithms. It's a little happy. Some people are happy with actually getting the rest of the files released, I mean, and getting some validation for what we've been feeling and what we've known, having the names out there. But then again, yeah, we're pretty pissed. I mean, I read that bit about Bush Sr. and the child, and I was oh, it's a little hoppy. Gosh, I'm starting to get old. My eyes are starting to go. I read that O as an A. I'm not that old. Come on. Ansus. What's influencing Ansus? Is Ansus. Okay, Ansus, Odin, having to do with leadership and also esoteric knowledge. We're going to be looking for better leadership in this whole thing. There's a couple people that come to mind. Yeah. Yeah, but I do like hoppy beer. I like, you know, kind of hoppy and a little bit on the bitter side. It's tasty. I mean, it's got some nice notes to it. I'm not a beer aficionado, though. If it tastes good, I'll buy it again. But if it doesn't taste good, yeah, I'm not gonna drink it. Rido. What's influencing Rido? Because we've already had Rido and Fehu. We have Lagus. Okay. Yeah, the money is going to be... I only drink one beer a night, and if I don't have to work the next day, and my son doesn't have school the next day, so basically the weekends, I have 2 beers, and I don't do hangovers well. I don't handle them well anymore. But anyway, Lagu's influencing Raido. Remember, we have Raido and Fehu here. So yeah, money, yeah, it's gonna be going out. And I had the thought, because I remember talking to Zilch a couple of months ago, and he was asking me if, hey, do you think they're ever going to release the Epstein files? And I said, when they release the Epstein files, and I think it had something to do in relation with the, like the $2,000 Trump was promising everybody. And I said it was like, I'll believe we'll get the, the money when the Epstein files releases, and I didn't have any hope that the Epstein files were actually going to be released. So maybe Trump's gonna like try to, because his ego is tied into how people view him. You could see it on his natal chart. He's definitely a narcissist, but his placements are more or less of how people view him. He's heavily in the 10th house. If they need a book on political theory and leadership that serves our people, I can suggest one. I think I know. Ask Bishop Bullwinkle what he thinks. Rocky and Bullwinkle, yeah. Kanos, what's influencing Kanos? Oh, it's Kanos. Okay, we've got 3 double energies here. So yeah, people almost going back to the drawing board. I feel like with these return to basics here, you know, we've got Urus and Urus, we have Ansus and Ansus, and we have Kanos and Kanos. Kind of interesting. Yeah, going back to basics. The presidents that's like stirring in my mind right now is Roosevelt. And I know that that's a little, some people don't like him, some people love him, but he just comes to mind going back to basics, of somebody that actually represents the American spirit of what America is like. Okay, Gabo. Tiwas. Okay, so there are going to be some trials. Things are going to reach an equilibrium. And we'll see what influences that in Wunyo, Ingus. So yeah, the things, because we already had Wunyo in Thurisaz, and Thurisaz is a destructive force when it comes to Wunyo, when it comes to joy. You know, Thurisaz being Mjolnir, also having to do with giants, the protective thorn, but it's kind of destructive on Wunyo. And then Ingus in Wunyo here is just kind of incubates that destructive of, the dystopia. What is a rune reading? Runes are, well, first and foremost, runes are letters of the Elder Thufark. That's what I'm reading. It's pre-Viking age, but they also have esoteric meaning. Each rune has a deep meaning that the god Odin discovered on Yggdrasil, hanging upside down for 9 days to gain this esoteric knowledge, and then the god Heimdall learned that knowledge from him, and he gave it to humanity. But anyway, we do divination with it like tarot. And I have rune cards instead of rune stones. I do have several rune stone sets, but I prefer the cards because they're just easier to handle when you're doing readings on camera. And then I did want to do a clarification card rune on Tiwaz here, because I want to see if like this Tiwaz is going to be influenced by time. Because in Gabo's about gifts, and it's about balance as well. Oh, Othala is influencing Tiwaz, which is very interesting. I like that. yeah, maybe a return of how we actually want to view justice. I think justice is really going to have its head turned over, you know, what am I trying to say here? Turned on its head, um, to what we want to see justice being. Maybe that's for me personally. And I'm a little bit for capital punishment, for those involved in these heinous crimes. Um, I hang upside down in a toilet in high school. Learn that you do not talk to jocks' girlfriends. Oh, I'm sorry. That's rough. I'm sorry. Oh boy. Don't forget to hit that like button for me, please, everybody. But does anybody have any further questions about, because I'll do open floor for readings pertaining to this issue or any other political issue right now. Don Lemon was arrested and then he was released without bail the same day. That was kind of pathetic. It's just like seeing all the memes of everybody just elated and then disappointed, because I knew that wasn't gonna. It's just for show. He's not gonna have the book thrown at him. Not for that. Not when the pedophilia charges are just so severe at this point. The allegations, but the allegations, we'll see how that progresses, because it's just kind of muddied right now, you know, with the entire political system and the justice system being what it is. And it kind of makes me wonder, because I pulled that with Ingabo Tiwas and then Othala. I'm kind of wondering if people are going to start taking justice in their own hands. I was a long-haired, muscular douchebag that the jocks wouldn't mess with, even when I hit on their girls. Oh boy. In high school, I was pretty much Daria. Yeah, I was pretty much Daria, and then like my friend, she wasn't Jane, but she was pretty much Daria without glasses. So yeah. The just us system. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that only fits in for the wealthy elites and not the average American, the average asshole here in America. Because we got Trump and his Zionist buddies on one side, you know, the whole evil cabal on both political sides. And then we have the average American. And then we have these far leftists in Minnesota. And the more and more I watch Karlin Poroshenko, the more I'm learning about how, how the communists are they're really, they're more prevalent than I thought they were. Probably because I was just ignoring it. I wasn't paying any attention to it because, you know, if I see these communists, I just ignore them, you know, online. If I see communist witches, I ignore them. Or I share their posts to make fun of them lately. We could turn public pools into makeshift bogs just for them. Oh my goodness. Yes, that would be something. And then you could release dogs to go and pee on people's heads. Just a thought. I know some dogs that would do that. But yeah. Oh, here's a good question. Will Trump get impeached over this before the midterms? Issa. Okay, I'm wondering if things are going to stay the same or remain, or change. Because, yeah, just feeling alone. Issa, about stagnation. Also a little bit about isolation. Fehu. Ansus. Okay. Urus. Lagus. Okay. So there's some emotion playing in this, of course, because people are really pissed off. Thurisaz. Oh, Tewas. Okay, I like this. Not to sound biased, but I do like this. Yeah, the justice might be swift and destructive. Protective, because Thurisaz can not only be destructive but also protective at the same time. Yeah, they still have to vote on its validity. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We'll see how this progresses. Ansu's placement, we have Uru's. So yeah, there's gotta be some yeah, Trump's personality is going to really be hard to take down because he's not slowing down even though he's in his late 70s. There's been some speculation that he's been on amphetamines. And then there's also been speculation, I've heard rumors that he had a stroke. And I remember doing a reading like a week or two ago. Somebody asked me what's going to happen to Trump, and my mind went to his health. Okay. And Issa came up for Urus, and I hear a couple of days later they say, "Oh, somebody's saying Trump had a stroke." Okay, well, Issa could be a stroke. But anyway, on to Rido. Oh, Sorilu. Okay. We know this is about victory. This is about energy. So there's a lot of energy going towards Trump right now in general because he can't keep himself out of the headlines. And I don't even, think that a war with Iran is going to fix this for him. Although I've seen some very funny AI videos of Netanyahu bending Trump over a podium. Yeah. Yeah, he's keeping himself alive with some nasty stuff, that's for sure. It's not just the McDonald's. All the preservatives in McDonald's. It doesn't just somehow preserve the body too, no. Botox. That's what's going on. And Canas. Oh, Nathies. So a need for wisdom, for passion. I'm gonna see how that plays out. Burkana and Gabo. Okay. Yeah, so a woman in the situation, or feminine, somebody more feminine, kind of bringing that equilibrium into the situation. And Gabo, sorry, not Gabo, Wunyo. We have Wunyo. So yeah, in my question, I was wondering if Trump was going to be impeached. I'm doing the reading, for myself and for the audience. And I would like to see Trump punished for, his lack of action in Minnesota, for his, continued simping for Israel, for, fucking up the economy, just continuing on with what Biden did and even worse. Monsters Inc. Was a way to tell us without telling us. Right. Yeah, exactly. Monsters Inc. in Disney's Pinocchio, that told us a lot. And you got to remember, Pinocchio came out in like, what, the 40s? Early 40s? So yeah, it's been around for a while. And that's really, really frightening. Um, but yeah, the island with the boys, Pleasure Island, with the way the fox reacts to it, and the fox encouraging Pinocchio to become an actor. Yeah. But anyway, looking at this entire spread, and as far as Trump being impeached, um, yeah, we're going to be happy for those who are critical of Trump. They are going to be happy with the outcome, um, because it's got a lot of energy behind it. But this Nauthies is, I'm thinking that there's going to need to be more information that is needed for the impeachment to go through, or for any conviction, really, to go through, to hit him. And then depending, who wants to come forward, who has the information, because it has to be pretty damning. And we'll just have to see. But yeah. And I'll leave it open for any questions, general or rune readings, or just ask me any sort of questions. Don't forget to hit that like button. It really does help out the stream and get new people in. Kind of beat YouTube a little bit. Now let's see what's happening on X. I'm just going to take a quick peek. See if anything entertaining is going on. Yeah, because there was that big walkout, blackout of the liberals complaining and thinking that, they're going to change the world. I mean, there are a lot of them, but then this whole Epstein thing kind of derailed that coverage. Although, the leftist communists would definitely love to take away our personal private property. But, yeah, good luck with that shit. Yeah, I'm not parting with a single coin, in the words of Smaug. Yes, I'm very defensive of my personal property. What's the news with Epstein? I'm not up to date. Oh, well, a whole let nature take its course in Minnesota. Yeah. Although those protesters are handling the snow and the cold, which is kind of, I'd have to say I'm a little bit impressed. Maybe they're just used to it. It's a whole bunch of white liberals, but they're still, they still have that European ancestry. It's like the Nords in the Elder Scrolls game series, where they have like, what, plus 5% or 10% frost resistance. Okay, so what's the news with Epstein? So they released a whole bunch of files. Trump's name is in them. Bill Gates, apparently Bill Gates was trying to sneak his wife antibiotics because Gates was sleeping with some Russian ladies, and he caught an STD, gave it to his wife, and so to avoid telling his wife he wanted to, get antibiotics from Epstein, they are soulless, they feel nothing. True. Yeah, once you don't have a soul, you don't feel anything. Very true. But what was I gonna say? Yeah, so Mom Donnie's mother was in the Epstein files. Clinton was in the Epstein files, of course. And they're just gonna pull more and more of them, more people out of those files. I mean, I've just been looking at X. I haven't looked at the files myself, but one thing to take away is that Trump was mentioned in the files, and then those files were pulled. So I guess they didn't mean to pull those, or maybe what I'm thinking is that somebody did that on purpose to hurt Trump. And it's a good thing that they did. Because, yeah, I would definitely like to see Trump actually have some sort of something to have to deal with, some kind of repercussions. But, yeah, one of the first readings that I did, maybe the women in his circle will take the brunt of it. Maybe even Melania. Kind of like how Ghislaine was thrown to the wolves. Melania might be thrown to the wolves as well. That's just the way it is. Let's take a look back at X. Yeah, somebody's saying, if Bill Gates is willing to secretly drug his own wife, imagine what he's willing to do to us. Referring to COVID. Yes, exactly. Yeah, Epstein is number one trending on X. That is wonderful to see. Wow. Yeah, people are making the joke that Trump has to attack Iran now just to get off the Epstein. Yeah, accountability is rare among these types. Yeah, exactly. I mean, we would love to see accountability. I certainly would. And the readings I've been doing, yeah, we will see some sort of accountability, but it's not going to be exactly the way that we want it to. It might take some time as well. And it's not going to be against who we want it to be. And, Trump is going to, they're going to try to impeach him. They're going to need more info though, serious info, because all this stuff in the Epstein files is apparently allegations. But people have been talking about this for years. And so I'm leaning a little more in that this is actually serious. That this is actually, something that did happen, a strong chance, especially about the girls being buried on his golf course. That is disturbing. Okay, you got to remember that's Florida. I wonder if his property backs up to what it backs up to. I don't want to be looking though. Again, I can suggest a political system that holds politicians accountable. Well, if I were made dictator tomorrow, yes, I'd be doing things in a very particular manner. And I don't want to say anything more than that because I don't want to get my channel banned. But yeah, definitely. You can bet I would be sworn in on the Poetic Edda and not a Bible. But yeah. Well, anyway, I am going to cut the stream off a little early because family's been sick the past few days. My son brought a cold home, not only to my husband, but I've been fighting it. Although I'm a little stronger, I guess. I took care of him yesterday, and that's why I didn't stream yesterday. Making sure that he was okay, and that, yeah, he's fine now. But yeah, I'm still just a little bit on edge. I know I'm drinking a beer, and that's not necessarily the best thing to do when you're on a cold. have a cold, but I've had worse. I mean, literally, I've had sepsis. When the hospital tried to kill me after I had my son, I developed sepsis. So, yeah, that was a whole lot of fun. But anyway, thank you all so much for joining me this evening. And until next time, hail the gods.